Hey everyone, welcome back to PTE NAATI. This is Manmohit. Now, guys, in today's one, I am going to share with you all a proper plan for Summarise Spoken Text for your PTE exam. So this is one such topic which many people out there struggle with. So I am going to give you a proper plan of what needs to be done, how to take notes, how to give a proper response, what sort of word limit needs to be followed, and every single thing that you need to keep in mind and every single thing that you have to avoid for this particular topic. Before I proceed, if you need any help and support with your PTE exam, PTE coaching, whether it's PTE academic or PTE core, or if you need coaching for NAATI Hindi, Punjabi, or Gujarati, feel free to message us on either Instagram or Facebook. The links are there in the description box, or you can simply search for M&MMPT NAATI and you will find us over there. Message us and we can have a chat with you of how we can assist you to clear this exam in your very first go. Let's start with this one. Now, first thing first for Summarize Spoken Text, and that's number of questions. So for this topic, you get either one question or two questions as the absolute maximum. In terms of scoring, this one will give you marks in both listening and writing because you would be listening to an audio and then your job is to type a summary based on that. Now, this topic gives approximately 10 to 20 marks out of 90, which gets distributed equally in both, and that's approximately 5 to 10 marks going towards listening and 5 to 10 marks going towards writing. So if you are someone who's aiming for 65 or 79 or a perfect 90, this one is definitely going to be one of the deciding factor because 5 to 10 marks in listening and 5 to 10 marks in writing is a lot. In terms of the time, answering time, that would be 10 minutes per question. So if you get one question, you are given 10 minutes. If you get two questions, you are given 20 minutes. But the time from one question will not be added towards the other one. So please keep in mind, if you save any time from one question, doesn't mean you would be having extra time towards the next question. It's still separate 10 minutes for each of the questions. Now, what do we have to do? Another thing we have to keep in mind is the word limit. Now, according to Pearson, they say the word limit is between 50 to 70 words. However, we do recommend typing between 60 to maximum 69 words to get a full score. Considering we would be following a template in this one, which you have to simply memorize. So there's few words that you would be using for the template to maintain your sentence structure. So when you have a bit of template to go with, we want to give some more content towards the computer just so that we can get a full score for that. So never type less than 60, otherwise you may not get a full score for that particular answer. Now, the topic says that you would be listening to an audio and then your job is to give an answer for that. As in, type an answer, type a summary on the basis of that. So we first just have to understand how do we take notes for this one. So obviously when the audio is being played, the audio which can be from 30 to 90 seconds, we have to take some notes for the same. And the best and the only possible note taking that I would recommend to all of you would be taking sentences in this one. In retail lecture, we do recommend taking phrases. In Summarize Spoken Text, we recommend taking sentences or some long meaningful phrases for this one. Now, sentences as in a complete sentence which is part of the audio. So obviously you will not be able to take 8 or 10 or 12 different sentences from the audio. Hence, we do recommend taking about 3 to 4 sentences from the audio. I would be running an audio after this just to take some notes to show you guys what do I take out of the audio and then how do we type an answer as well for the same. So I'll be doing a demonstration of a perfect 90 response. So 3 to 4 sentences. Now, which sentences do we pick out from the audio? Any sentence is absolutely fine. It doesn't matter what sentence you pick from the audio. You can pick the first sentence, you can pick the last one, you can pick the middle one. Any sentence is absolutely fine as long as it was part of the audio. Another question could be, do we need to paraphrase the sentence? Absolutely not. In order for you to get a perfect score in this particular topic, you do not have to paraphrase the sentences at all. You can if you want to, but it's not recommended considering we only have 10 minutes, which includes the audio time in that too. So in that 10 minutes, we have to finish everything. So prefer not getting into too much thinking mode, but it should all pretty much be on the spot. So prefer not paraphrasing at all. Now what I'll do is I'll play an audio and I'll take some notes for that, as in 3 to 4 sentences out of the audio, just to show you guys what needs to be done when you are listening to an audio. Now, first and foremost, what I'll do is I'll divide my notebook into 4 parts, just so that I have got 4 quadrants over here for me to take my notes in that. It's easy and it's more organized when you have to take so many notes in the exam to divide your notebook and be organized as much as you can before taking notes. So I would be taking my first sentence over here, second here, third here, and fourth here. So this would be my plan when I start to take notes. Now what I'll do is I'll play the audio. First, I wanted to observe how I take the notes. Then what you can do is you can rewind the video, again listen to the same audio, and then try to take notes by yourself and see how well or how many sentences were you able to take out of the audio, so that you can also start to implement the same strategy of taking notes. I'm going to play the audio now. Let's have a look. What do we need to do for that?
Sustainable tourism is a vital concept in the modern travel industry. As we explore new places and cultures, it's crucial to consider the impact our travel has on the environment, local communities, and economies. Sustainable tourism is about more than just reducing carbon footprints. It's about preserving the natural and cultural heritage of the destinations we visit. For instance, ecotourism initiatives, which focus on conservation and supporting local communities, are becoming increasingly popular. These initiatives not only protect natural habitats, but also provide economic benefits to local residents. However, the challenge of sustainable tourism goes beyond individual actions. It requires collaboration between governments, tourism operators, and travelers. For example, creating policies that limit the environmental impact of tourism, promoting local businesses, and educating tourists on responsible travel practices are essential steps. In a world facing environmental challenges and cultural homogenization, sustainable tourism offers a path to enjoy the world's beauty while protecting it for future generations. By choosing to travel sustainably, we're not just tourists, we're guardians of the world's diverse and precious cultures and ecosystems.
So if you have a look, what I have done is I did not just take 4 sentences, I was able to take 5 sentences. Now, I don't even need this much content when I craft my summary. However, because the audio was still going on, so I was able to take some more notes, and this is what I would recommend too. If you are able to take more notes, more sentences, feel free. But if you have a look, what I have done over here is I have taken full complete sentences exactly the way they were given to me in my audio itself. So I did not really take some small phrases or chunks out of a sentence. I actually took the complete sentence from the audio. Now, obviously, this will come with practice. At the very start, you may not be able to take 4 sentences completely. You might only be able to take 1 sentence, and that's absolutely fine. But we slowly work our way up. Take 1 sentence first, keep practicing until you are able to take 2 sentences, then 3, 4, and so on. But if you look, what have I got over here is sustainable tourism is a vital concept in the modern travel industry. So it's a good sentence which I can use completely. Then sustainable tourism is more than about reducing carbon footprints. So because the word was quite long, sustainable tourism, what I did was I took abbreviations of that. So if you are comfortable with taking abbreviation of a certain word, you're more than welcome to. But if you think that you can't remember what that abbreviation stood for, then prefer taking the complete word. But in this case, I have taken the abbreviation of those ones. Next one, these initiatives also provide economic benefits to local residents. Again, I can use it fully. And then I have taken creating policies that limits the environmental impact. So creating policies that limits the environmental impact. So I can again use this one. So I don't need 5 sentences, but the 5th one I've written is sustainable tourism gives a path to enjoy world's beauty. So I've got 5 great sentences out of the audio. I did not wait for an important sentence or anything like that. I just took whatever I could. And I started writing a sentence when a new sentence began. So I never started to write a sentence midway when it was already speaking, because that will not make any sense. I waited for the previous sentence to finish and then I started writing the new one. So I've got 5 sentences. Now let's have a look how we can use these notes to type a perfect response. Now, this is my template that we're going to use. I would be putting a link for this one in the description as well. If you want to download that, print that, or just want to write it down, that's the one we use, and it absolutely works for a perfect score, for a perfect 90. So let's take the same template and I would be filling in my content in that. So let's say this is my template. So I'm going to look at my notes that I've written over here and we would be creating a response for that. So my first sentence says the lecture is primarily focusing on, so I'm going to put my first sentence over here, is primarily focusing on sustainable tourism is a vital concept in the modern travel industry. So that would be my first sentence. So I'm going to remove the number 2, the word number 2, because that's not required. This is just for you guys to understand, but obviously in the exam, you're not going to create 4 separate bullet points. It should be 1 paragraph summary only. Next sentence is, in addition to this, the lecture also highlighted about. So here I'm going to put my second sentence. So my second sentence was, sustainable tourism is more than about reducing carbon footprints. So I can say about sustainable tourism is more than about reducing carbon footprints. Okay. In addition to this, the lecture also highlighted about sustainable tourism is more than about reducing carbon footprints. So that's my sentence number 2. So I'm going to remove number 3. There is also emphasis about. So here I would be putting my third sentence. There is also emphasis about these. See, I'm not even paraphrasing. I'm literally putting the same sentences which I have taken from the audio. Initiatives also provide economic benefits to local residents. So that's my sentence number 3. And then I'll remove the number 4. In conclusion, comma, the lecture described that creating policies that limits the environmental impact. Now let's have a look at the grammar part of the last sentence. In conclusion, the lecture described that creating policies that limits the environmental impact. What I would do is, to make it grammatically correct, I will remove the word that and I will put will. Now if we read it out, in conclusion, the lecture described that creating policies will limit the environmental impact. So once I've written down my summary, I'll count how many words have I written. So if you look at the bottom, I've got 62 words. And if you remember correctly, I did say we have to type between 60 to 69 words. So it does follow my word limit. And the lecture is primarily focusing on sustainable tourism is a vital concept in the modern travel industry. In addition to this, the lecture also highlighted about sustainable tourism is more than about reducing carbon footprints. There is also emphasis about these initiatives also provide economic benefits to local residents. In conclusion, the lecture described that creating policies will limit the environmental impact. And this would be my perfect response to get a perfect score in my summary. So see, it didn't really look that hard. However, this will take vigorous practice for you to reach this particular level where you can take, see, I have got a 5th sentence, which I'm not even going to use, but I still ended up writing that in case if I wanted to use that sentence instead of some other sentence, if I felt like that, but all my 4 sentences are making a perfect sense. So I do not even have to do anything to that. So that absolutely works. So this is the method that I wanted to share in this video with all of you so that you can also understand that it's not a lot that takes to master a topic, but obviously it is going to take a lot of practice, a lot of patience and proper feedback, proper strategies, proper guidance. Students who are enrolled with us, we make sure we give them feedback every single day personally. They are added in a Telegram group with us, me and Mohit, and it's only us and that particular student. That's all. And they do send us their audios and written work on a daily basis, whatever practice they have done. And then we check that work and we provide them with the proper constructive feedback of what mistakes have they made, what was correct, what was wrong, what to improve, how to improve. A proper plan is given. This is how so many of our students are getting their desired scores every single day because they're following what we are saying, they're doing what we're asking of them, and hence they are successful in becoming our next success story. Like I was saying at the beginning, if you need coaching for PT Academic or Core or NAATI, Hindi, Punjabi or Gujarati, feel free to message us on either Instagram or Facebook. Links are there in the description. Message us over there by searching for our name, and we'll have a chat with you of how we can assist you to make sure we'll clear this exam in our very first go. All the best if you have quarter exams coming soon. Stay safe wherever you are, and I will see you all in the next one.